Hey, this is Ezra out here with the dogs in the backyard. My son, he just ran across naked to his room, so I invited him out here. He thought he might put some clothes on, but I thought maybe the ratings would go up. Exploiting my children. I thought I'd get on here and do a live video. Oh, there goes my low battery, so I won't be on here very long. Thought I'd do a live video to initiate and talk about real quickly the crowdfund for what is that? Okay, for the crowdfund for History of Love and the video I just put out and what this is all about, what's going on. I'm going to do it as quick as possible because I'm going to bug y'all. I'm going to get up and live video y'all for a while, so I'm getting used to it. The dogs are going to get rowdy. I'm one of those guys with the dogs that bark at you while you're walking your dog. So, History of Love is an album. It was really a concept of an album that I had late 2013, and the concept of it was and I'll talk more. I'll put a link there. You can go to my website at ezravansel.com also and see like a story, like a real story of what it's about. But really, I put out an album years ago with Ezra Thomas called Promised Land. And that album was written during the time of a divorce. It took 2 years to make that. Near the beginning of planning that album, a marriage was falling apart. And by the end of it, like when they actually shipped and landed on my door, I was not married anymore. And so that's what that album, you could smell it all over it too. And it's a beautiful album too. You know, I love that beautiful things come from times in our life like that. This album is, to me, and I didn't plan it this way, but as I put it together just in the last probably 6 months, as we went in the studio with the final songs, final round of songs, and started paring it down, it just feels like a response to that album. It's me looking at my love life, my relationships from 10 years down the line. And it's actually, when I was listening to some of the songs, it's actually funny because it kind of does respond. Some of the songs directly respond to songs off of that divorce album, off of Promised Land. So that's what the concept was, and it's a neat thing because it's a studio album. In today's world, at least I think this, albums are, they're not really something that you do unless you really have a reason to do it, because people don't listen to albums. They don't. I can see stats and stuff, and people don't listen to an album through, which sucks for my live album because I made that to listen to all the way through. It's not supposed to work, just one song. But, so I got to have a reason to make one. And this one I really felt like I had a reason for. There really is a story. It's linear. It runs all the way back against, in content, it runs against that album and comes out to really tell a story. And it ties into my other albums. So we were like, well, let's get out of the home studio and do something real and go into the studio. And though I put out stuff, I record, I do go into the studio every once in a while when I need something a little more properly done. I don't do that very often. And what the studio does for me is, it's not technology so much. It is the spirit that it puts behind an album. Because what you're going to get is, we were 3 in the studio. 3 people in the studio kind of freaking out. and it brings out, because you like lock it down, you pay a bunch of money, and you've got time, and you need to produce something in that time. And to me, creativity just in itself is problem solving. That's what it is, and it's like barest form. And so you have all these problems that you work through in such a short amount of time, and the bigger the problem, the more my creativity kicks in. And so you get a lot of things that wouldn't have happened. You get ideas that you just would not have thought of if you had miles of digital tape to record on. And so you kind of pressure cook something and you grab a moment. And we really, really tried for that on this one because everything's so, it's driving me crazy nowadays. Everything is so Tetris blocked in, music, and there's nothing. It's like it's losing all the life. And I'm not a music, I'm not a genre hater or anything, but it's just getting to me lately. And though I don't know how to escape that exactly nowadays, but the way we went about it to escape it is to go into the studio and really try to record as live as possible. And Congress House down there has lots of rooms, so some of the songs we would be live, but we'd be sitting in different rooms. They also have cameras, which is cool, so you can watch each other in the other rooms and play it together and really feed off of, me feeding off of Kent is our keyboard player, just an amazing talent. And him feeding off of what I'm doing, and then capture that, and then everything else is kind of fixing stuff up on the outer side of it, and but that initial core is alive, and that's what I wanted. And then whatever you do to it after that point, you can have all kinds of fun with the new technologies and stuff. But I just feel like it keeps that life in there. And that's what I wanted for this album, is to have an entire album that wasn't piecemealed together like some of my projects over months and months, and this guy plays that, but us with the energy of our friendship of this band to go in there and just lay it down and capture this moment in time. And I'm really, the mix, not the mixes, but all the tracks are laying almost there. We've almost completed everything of post-production, and it's there. I mean, it's really there. It really captured something that I was trying to do. And that brings me to a phone that is dying, and what this crowdfund is this final thing. So we've done everything. I really have just used everything I got to get this far, and really the most expensive part of this for me is always finding the right mix engineer, the one that I want, and the mixing, the mastering, the tweaking, a few tiny little details in the studio, and getting that done is about as much as it was to get this far. But beyond that, I'm hoping to do stuff that I haven't really done lately, which is to get out of my own listener circle and get this music out a little bit further. So some of the funds, I'm hoping to have somebody help with some marketing and to get some reviews and all that kind of stuff, because I can get a little too comfortable with my fans, with y'all, because I can go and feel like, there's plenty going on. And when I make an album like this, I really want people to hear it. I really do. I want to give it, and it's kind of a weird sensation, because I feel like, you hear like a song is the songwriter's child. I feel like I start working for the album at some point. It's not about me. We've put it all together. I start working for these songs, and I owe it to them. They want to be heard. I could care less. Like, really, I say that. But the songs care. They care. They cry out to me, Ezra, people need to hear us. And so I start working for the songs to take them out there. And that's what this crowdfund is about. It's to get it done in the way that I know it should be done. But further than that, to get us some products to put in people's hands and take us further out in our touring, and to get a little bit of marketing and get it further out with some different tools and some different people that are helping. And I appreciate y'all a lot. I feel so strange doing these live things, like I'm just talking to nobody. I need to put somebody in front of me. But I really appreciate y'all. I really do. Everybody, just really in this last 6 months, it's actually been all through these last 3 or 4 years where I've come back in a big way in music in my life. The encouragement is just, it's when I need it, and it's I get letters from people that just, I'll be sitting in front of my computer crying because it'll be at the moment where I'm about to give up. And I'm about to start crying right here. And somebody will send me a letter. And that's enough to go for another week. And I just thank y'all a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye.